Are you here for a general announcement? Oh my god, I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
It's about the middle school debates.
Cool. Do you want to do that? You can do it during club announcements or general announcements.
I'll do general.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll just be like a quick shout out.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. That's awesome. Thank you for being here, Rocio. Check, check. Miss Two, do we have all of our advisories here? You're missing some people? Close? Okay. Let's give it one more minute, y'all.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, sixth grade, to today's assembly for Monday, March. Is it the 7th or the 8th? 7th. Okay. So, for this week's schedule, we have clubs on Tuesday and Thursday, and then we'll have some DEI for 7th and 8th graders on Wednesday. And sixth grade will have stress management parts. And then on Friday, we'll have recess if it's dry out. And then if it is rainy, then we will have it be advisory joy. So fun. Okay, so now we're going to have some club announcements. So if anybody has club announcements, they can come up here.
Hello, I'm Addie Street from Debate Club.
Hi, I'm Miss Medina. I run Debate Club, and we have a few awesome things to share about our recent tournament this past Saturday.
First, we got, well, technically, we got second place overall, but we actually tied with the first place school.
Yeah. Also, our novice experience team placed in the top 15, and that was out of 108 teams. Okay. And our novice sixth grade team placed in the top 10. So if you see any middle school debaters, give them a shout out, a high five. We do have practice today. It's only 30 minutes. Room A0, room A20. Jacob's room. All right, thank you.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Jin Hyun, and today I'm here representing the Classical Music Club. All right. All right. Based on recent turn of events, we've decided that this week the club will be on pause, and perhaps until further notice. And to all current attendees, I will get that sheet music sent out to you for the week. All right. Thank you very much.
Next, we have some announcements from Mr. Gonzalez. So if you could please come to the stage.
All right, hello, I'm Brian, and I'm one of the people on the COVID task force. So we have some updates for you coming for next week's change as we go to mask optional. Let's take a moment to read over these, and Ms. Wu's gonna, yep, am I gonna walk through?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
You go.
All right, so take a moment, look at the screen, take a look at some of the changes here, and I just want to offer some updates from the COVID task force about how all this is going to work. So, as of Monday, March 14th, when you come to school, we are going to become a mask optional campus. So we'll be talking a lot about how this is a personal choice, and it needs to be an informed personal choice about whether or not you're going to wear a mask while you're on campus. Understanding that it could be lots of different times you may want to mask up or have your mask off, and also interact with people who may or may not have their mask on. I want to reassure you that for the last 2 years, this campus has done an amazing job keeping us safe and healthy. We are a highly vaccinated community. We have testing protocols in place. We have well-ventilated spaces. And we've shown to be a very, very good school at managing this pandemic. And so we are both excited and, as we all are during these transitions, slightly anxious about this coming change. So I just want you to know we're taking it very seriously and that we're here to keep you safe and healthy through it all. Couple things. One, please, you need to bring a mask every day. If you're choosing not to wear a mask, you need to bring a mask to school. If you forget your mask and you need one, we will have masks available for you in the main office and other places throughout campus. But please bring a mask if you're choosing not to wear one. Please bring one anyway every day. You may be asked to wear your mask in certain situations, and Ms. Wu is going to talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. But just a couple of situations you might find yourself in. One, a teacher may discuss with you in your class about wearing a mask as part of them feeling safe and secure and having that conversation. You may have students who would feel more comfortable working closely with you with the mask on. And we also have guest speakers. Guest speakers, people from outside campus who will be working with you on any number of projects who might say, I would feel more comfortable with everybody wearing a mask. So you may get those requests. So please be friendly and open and mindful of looking out for each other as we navigate this transition. You are well protected for wearing your mask. All of you are wearing different kinds of masks I can see around the room, everything from KN95s to cloth masks to surgical masks. Masks do protect you. So if you're somebody who's thinking about your own protection, please know that the research is growing and that it does protect you as you're wearing a mask. It's a matter of what kind of mask you wear and how well it fits your face. So please look into that. If you ever have any questions, you can, and even if everybody else is not wearing a mask, this mask that I'm wearing right now does protect me if all of you are not wearing a mask. I'm wearing a well-fitting KN95. So we've all been doing this for a number of years, so you should have an understanding of what mask works for you. And then finally, testing. We will still have testing available. So if you come into school, so first of all, if you're feeling sick, don't come to school. Once again, that's been one of the big rules about COVID is if you're sick, don't come to school. And that still applies. If you come to school and you start to feel sick, we're going to have you go to the main office, and we're going to have rapids available, rapid antigen tests to give you a test. So we still have that capacity. And if you're out sick or if you've had an exposure and you're kind of at home, we will still offer PCR testing. So we still have this capacity to test as necessary to keep us safe, healthy, and in school. So again, lots of stuff going on. So I'm really proud of all the work that we've done, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Wu. If you ever see me in the hallway and you have a question, please come ask me or tell your advisor.
Wait here for the questions after.
Sure.
Okay, great. Okay, next slide. Yeah, we got it. Thank you. All right, first of all, welcome to our 6th graders and founders, our 7th and 8th graders also online. Hello. I'm just going to talk a little bit about my expectations of how our community is going to move into the mask optional culture. So you had Mr. Gonzalez here who sort of told you some of the, kind of what to be prepared for. And I'd like to continue talking about how we do that and how we can be both supportive of each other in this community while we are adjusting to yet a new transition. I will take 3 questions at the end, okay? So we'll give you an opportunity, especially in founders here or 6th graders, to ask any questions. So the first thing I want to say is I want us to remember again that at the very start of the year, we talked about Pumas looking out for other Pumas. And I do believe that that is the heart of what university prep and going to university prep is all about, is Pumas looking out for other Pumas. So as Mr. Gonzalez said, you may, even if you make the decision not to wear the mask to campus, please be aware that all of us through this transition are in different places. Some of us may be ready to go totally maskless from like the moment that we're allowed to, all the time. Some of us may be worried about people who are living with us at home. Like maybe we have a younger sibling who's not vaccinated yet because they're not old enough, they're not boosted yet. Maybe there's a lot of your parents are not are immunocompromised, and maybe they are more vulnerable, and you're watching out for them. So I want us to caution ourselves that even though we are going mask optional, and that means some of you can remove your mask, I do want you to be aware of other people. They could be your classmates, they could be teachers, they could be other staff people here who are worried about people at home, okay? So if that person comes to you and asks you, hey, we're gonna be in a room together for 70 minutes for an entire period, would you mind, I'd feel more comfortable if you put on your mask. I expect everybody to kind of pull out their mask and just put it on, okay? Just to help each other out. I think we're gonna need to do that in the first couple of weeks while people just get settled and adjusted to the idea and start to see it for themselves, what it's gonna look like. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. You also will have classmates. And so sometimes you'll be like, maybe you'll be in one class and everybody's fine and you have your mask off. And then you might be in another class where somebody is working with you and saying, do you mind? So what I'd like you to do is not only wait for somebody to ask you, but if you notice that you're not wearing a mask, but somebody you're working with is wearing a mask, you could ask them ahead of time and say, hey, are you good with me not wearing a mask, or do you want me to take out my mask? And the thing is that will help that person, right? That's also a way to help that person so that that person doesn't have to be the one to ask all the time. Does that make sense? Puma's looking out for other Pumas, okay? So be aware of other people, ask what their comfort is, especially, in the first week or so. I think that's what we're gonna need to pay attention to. We'll begin this next Monday, okay? Next Monday. Okay, I think we're ready for a few questions if we have some. Okay, I see some hands raised. Okay, let's start with Gemra. Okay, your question was, if you said that Mr. Gonzalez said, if you want tests, you can get them, and then what was your question? What was the question?
So the question is, if you don't have any symptoms, like, can I just come get tested because I want to know? I think that's probably worth a conversation as we transition into this. We're not going to be doing the all-school testing like we were doing unless the situation calls for it. We always have the capacity to do that, an all-school testing. If you want to come talk to us and say, like, hey, I'd like to get tested, let's have that. Like, that's a great Puma looking after another Puma.
Who should they come up?
Come find me or the main office, Brian or in C206, or talk to the main office.
So right next to the vending machine upstairs is Mr. Gonzalez's office. Oh, right, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Mr. Gonzalez's
Yeah.
office. Okay. All right, Brooks, next.
Good. So the question is, like, will there be a time where we could just go mask mandatory, like go back to what it is now? Like, I think we should always be prepared for that. There's always a chance that we may get an update from our school, from the health officials that say we need to all mask up for this amount of time. So the answer is yes.
Yeah, the pandemic is not over, right? And so I think we need to be ready that if a variant comes up, we might have to go back to mask required again. So, so there's a possibility. I hope not. Okay, we'll take one more question. Oh my goodness. I'm going to choose. Who are you? Eli? Okay. Sorry, what was that again?
Eli, are you asking for the kind of situations where you might be asked to wear a mask?
Okay.
Yeah, so one example is, let's say you have a guest speaker coming into your class who says, I work with a vulnerable population, I'm happy to come speak to your class, but I'm going to ask that everybody in that class wear a mask. That would be a situation. You may have a teacher who would say, hi, I would feel a lot safer and more protected if we all wore a mask during class. That would be a situation. Does that make sense?
Classmate.
And a classmate.
Yeah.
So a classmate would be like this. Hey, why don't you guys all break up into small groups and work together? somebody in that group might say, hey, we're all going to be working really close, like head to head on stuff. Could we mask up? I would feel a lot better if we just all masked up before we worked together. That would be a situation.
Gotcha. Okay. How much time do we have? Do we have time for one more or not? Okay, Peyton, we'll go with you.
Okay, so, like, do you have to inform somebody that you're not going to wear a mask that day, or do you just come to school with that?
Okay, question is, do you have to inform somebody that you're not going to wear a mask that day, starting next Monday, right? Or can you just come without, come not wearing a mask? The answer would be that you could come not wearing a mask. Remember, again, we ask you to bring your mask with you, right, in the occasion that you might be asked, but you do not need to clear it with us. And likewise, if you decide to come with a mask, you don't need to clear that with us, okay? And then, like everything, when something is new, it's going to be more awkward in the first few days, probably the first week, until we get it all adjusted to this. And then we'll probably revisit this, okay? I think that's all the time we have. I see a whole bunch of questions. Desmond, I see you, and Anya, I see you too. If you'll find me afterwards, I'd be happy to answer your questions. I'm sure they're really good ones too. Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, office next to the vending machine. He's a really great person to go to. Thank you. All right, I'm sorry, I'm still up. Okay, really quickly, we also started a new thing today too. This morning we had our first all middle school indoor lunch, yay. Sixth graders who finally got to eat inside for the first time in forever, right? In never, yeah. So just want to say, I thought that the first day went very well. Thank you to seventh graders, eighth graders for being where you need to be, for sixth graders as well. I think everybody listened to us, figured out where to go to leave their silverware bowls afterwards, and they pushed in chairs and mostly cleaned up any messes on the tables, which is great because we have such a quick turnaround time. So I just wanted to really quickly encourage people. Let's see how tomorrow goes and Wednesday go as we move through the week. I know that it was probably a little bit challenging for some of you to figure out, like, well, where am I going to sit, right? Because it's no longer 12 chairs or 17 chairs in a circle. Now it's like 4 or 2 chairs at a time, and so it's a little bit awkward in the first couple of days. But you'll figure it out, okay? And we'll let things settle a little bit, and we'll get into this routine, and then we will see just what kind of rules we'll need to put in where we might come across it during the week. Again, I urge you to be, very understanding, trying to welcome people, trying not to leave them by themselves, So if you see somebody wandering around, invite them over to come sit near you if they can't sit at your table. If not, fill in an empty spot. I think that helps a lot with lunch. Okay, yes, I don't think that there are any more things to say about lunch, right? Yes, Ms. Wyatt. Oh, yes, absolutely. So just a quick reminder to all middle school students, you must only eat in the commons. So 8th graders, you must only eat in the lower commons and the commons meeting room. 6th and 7th graders, you have the lower commons and you have the upper commons as well. So you can choose one or the other, but make sure that you are eating only in the commons. You may not go anywhere else to eat, okay? Okay. The question is, do we only eat indoors for lunch, or can we start to eat indoors for like breakfast or for a snack time, which I know we don't strictly have snack time, but if you get food somewhere in between class, can you eat? You may not eat, for this week at least, you may not eat snacks inside. Like I would still go outside because the lunches, at least, we can contain who is there, but when it's become snack or breakfast time, there are people moving in and out of the commons at all times. So I do ask that you take that precaution, go out to the breezeway, eat there, okay? But lunchtime, we're going to try this out. And then again, as we move through, as we figure it out and settle as a school, we might decide we can loosen that restriction. But we're going to keep it tight for now until we move through this week. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right. Alrighty. Does anybody have any general announcements? Alrighty, so the middle school winter social is this Friday, March 11th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m.
Hey, middle schoolers. Okay, so I know a lot of us like the music that the DJ gave us from the last dance. So now I am publishing a survey to Schoology, and you can submit any clean songs that you would like the DJ to play in advance, so that you have something of your own unique, like music taste, for example, to play during the dance. So please look out for that, and please submit any song suggestions that you have.
Alrighty, at the dance, there will be dancing in the gym. Activities will be in the lower commons and in the library. And there will be snacks in the breezeway. You guys have to remember that participation is a privilege. Not everyone gets to participate. And if you get in trouble, then your privilege might get revoked. Can we switch the slide? The theme is going to be Secret Garden. That's the theme of the dance. So make sure to show up on Friday.
I'm just going to pull this. All right. I wanted to go over a few reminders and guidelines before the dance on Friday. I'm going to set this down. Just to sort of refresh our 7th and 8th graders and 6th graders, this will be your first dance, since we had more activities in November. So, first thing first, have fun, please. This is supposed to be fun. This is not supposed to be heavy or sad or whatever. We want it to be a good time for all of you. But that happens when we are respectful of the people that are at the dance with us. So please, in all of the ways that you know to be respectful of each other, bring that to the dance as well, right? Our expectations are similar to what we expect of you during the school day. And please be respectful of our space. We're going to be moving through a lot of spaces. We'll be in the gym, we'll be in the breezeway, we'll be in the commons. All of those spaces, we want to leave them clean. We want to respect the furniture, et cetera, et cetera. So please, there will be a lot of adult chaperones. Please listen to them as well as they help you have a good time on Friday. Cell phones. You are allowed to bring your cell phone with you. A lot of you are going to need that to communicate with whoever is picking you up at the end of the dance. But we are asking that you keep it put away unless you are in a designated photo booth area, which we will have. So if you want to take a photo with your friends to remember being at the dance, great. Please do it in that area. But we do not want to have any cell phones out in the dance itself. So if you're in the gym and you pull your cell phone out to take a video of someone who is maybe doing a really awesome dance move, please don't, right? We want to make sure we're respecting their right to consent to something like that. And we don't want any uncomfortable situations where someone is filming or taking a photo of somebody else without their permission, because that is not allowed. Hold off on questions for a second. I also want to remind you, getting back to Huda's point about music, if we are listening to a clean version of a song that all of us know, the lyrics to the non-clean version are still going to be running through our heads, yes? So what often happens, or what can happen, is that as we're singing along, we might be tempted to sing along with the actual version instead of the clean version. And I'm going to ask you to be really careful about that and really avoid singing along with words that are not appropriate for school, especially words like the N-word, which often shows up in songs at dances and is never acceptable at school. Is that clear? Please, please, please be thoughtful about that as we get ready for the dance on Friday. I think that's everything. Miss Wu, am I missing anything? What time do we have? Okay, we're going to have to pause on questions. If you have a question, please come find me, and if it's something that I want to share with the community, I will post it on Schoology afterwards. All right. Thanks, y'all. And again, that's what's going on, 6:30 to 8:30, dance in the Puma Dome, games and hangout in the lower commons, and snacks in the breezeway. All right, Noah. Oh, Aiden, make it fast.
Okay, and quickly for the Doll Club announcements. So for the individual high scorers, for 6th grade, we have Beckett Nelson again. For 7th grade, we have Benjamin Gomez. And for 8th grade, Lucas Kepler. And then for the final grade level tallies for last week, sorry. 6th grade in first place with 306 points, 7th grade in second place with 226, and 8th grade, third and last place, with 192 points. But still good job, obviously. Yeah. And that's it for Doll Club updates. And have a great week. Oh, wait, one more thing.
Okay, so we're doing this again, you guys. Isn't it fun? Okay, so the trivia for this week is who can name Taylor Swift's first album? Yeah? That's correct. You guys can go. Woo! All right, here we go. Good job, everybody.